There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. What does the worker gain from his toil? I have seen the burden God has laid on men. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the hearts of men. Yet they cannot fathom what God has done from beginning to end. I know that there is nothing better for men than to be happy and do good when they live. That everyone may eat and drink and find satisfaction in all his toil. This is the gift of God.
Good morning. Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty and staff, proud families, and of course, the graduating seniors, welcome to the Oxford Academy Commencement Ceremony for 2023. See? At least they're excited. Today, we gather here to celebrate a remarkable milestone for the senior class, the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. This momentous occasion marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. And as they stand on the precipice of a promising future, let us reflect on the journey thus far and embrace the boundless possibilities that lie ahead. First and foremost, let us take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to those who have guided us throughout this incredible journey. To our families and friends, thank you for your unwavering support and for being our pillars of strength, especially during difficult times or when we were not our best. To the talented Oxford teachers and staff, thank you for your knowledge, your patience, and passion in nurturing these boys and shaping them into the individuals they are today. Your dedication has left an indelible mark on their lives, and they deserve a round of applause. It's also nice to see a few returning faculty and staff here today. It's wonderful to welcome a few familiar faces back to campus, so thank you for joining us today. Sure. I'd like to show my gratitude towards our chairman of the board, Rich Connell, who is here this morning for his incredible leadership and knowledge. I cannot imagine where Oxford would be without his guidance, his passion, and his love for our school. I would like to thank my family for all their support and sacrifices throughout the year. I would like to thank the seniors for their efforts. I realize at times the journey to get to this point seemed unattainable, and yet here they are, about to receive the fruits of their labor. Lastly, I would like to give special thanks to a faculty member who is retiring this year after 25 years in our community. Where is Martha? You can't hide Martha, not from this one. Martha Neal. Over her 25 years, Martha has been more than just a teacher. She has been a guiding light. Oh, I made it this far. A mentor and a source of inspiration. Her passion for teaching and genuine care for her students have left an incredible mark on all of us fortunate enough to have crossed paths with her. In Martha's classroom, learning was never confined to the pages of textbooks. She brought lessons to life, encouraging her students to think critically, explore beyond boundaries, and embrace their curiosity. On behalf of our entire community, I want to extend my deepest gratitude and admiration. I want to thank her for her unwavering dedication, her passion for teaching, and the countless ways in which she has enriched all of our lives. I wasn't actually done. I just needed to compose myself for a second, but thank you anyway. Martha, your retirement is well earned. I hope it brings you joy, fulfillment, and endless opportunities for new adventures. We will miss you, and I will especially miss our daily morning conversations for the past 14 years. Congratulations. Thank you for everything. Now, on to the seniors. To the gentleman sitting behind me, graduation is not just a recognition of academic accomplishments. It is a testament to the strength of character you have developed over the years. You have overcome countless obstacles, faced numerous challenges, and persevered through moments of doubt and uncertainty. Each setback encountered has only served to strengthen your resilience and determination. As you embark on new paths, remember that failure is not a destination, but merely a stepping stone on the road to success. I also want to remind the seniors that your time here at Oxford has provided you with more than just knowledge. It has taught you the value of community, the importance of empathy, and the power of kindness. You have learned to appreciate different perspectives, embrace cultural differences, and work together towards a common goal that extend far beyond the classroom and will serve as the foundation for creating a better world. Now, it has become a tradition that I impart some specific reflections for each of the seniors, but before we get there, I want to share just a quick story with you. The story is entitled Felix and the Crown. Once upon a time, in the magical kingdom of Arcadia, there lived a young and humble blacksmith named Felix. Felix was known throughout the land for his exceptional craftsmanship and his kind heart. Despite his talent, he had always dreamed of something more, of embarking on great adventures and discovering hidden treasures. One day, as Felix was working diligently in his shop, a mysterious traveler entered. The traveler was an elderly man with a long white beard and twinkling eyes. He introduced himself as Tiberius, the keeper of legends and lore. Tiberius carried with him a weathered and tarnished crown, which he claimed had magical powers. Tiberius shared a tale of an ancient prophecy that spoke of a chosen one who would possess the ability to restore balance and harmony to the kingdom. According to the prophecy, the chosen one would be identified by their pure heart and unwavering determination. Tiberius believed that Felix could be the one. Intrigued by the prophecy and the possibility of fulfilling his deepest desires, Felix agreed to take on the challenge. Tiberius placed the crown upon Felix's head, and in an instant, Felix felt a surge of energy and power coursing through his veins. He now possessed the ability to understand the language of animals and communicate with them. Excited and filled with hope, Felix embarked on a quest to discover the true purpose of the crown and how he could use its powers to bring about positive change in the kingdom. Along his journey, Felix encountered various creatures who offered him guidance and assistance. As Felix traveled, he witnessed the hardships faced by the kingdom's inhabitants, the struggles of the farmers, the poverty in the villages, and the corruption among the nobles. Determined to make a difference, Felix used his newfound ability to understand the needs and desires of both humans and animals alike. He spoke to the birds to find hidden paths through treacherous forests. He consulted the wise old tortoise for advice on difficult decisions, and he rallied the animals of the land to help those in need. With each encounter, Felix grew wiser and more compassionate, understanding that true leadership meant listening to the voices of all, great and small. Through his acts of kindness and his unwavering determination, Felix slowly transformed the kingdom. He built schools for the underprivileged, helped the farmers yield bountiful harvest, and exposed the corruption among the nobles, bringing justice and equality to all. In the end, Felix realized that the power of the crown was not in its magic alone, but in his ability to unite the kingdom through empathy and understanding. He proved that true leadership and positive change stem from within, from the purity of one's heart and the determination to make a difference. And so Felix became known as Felix the Great, the wise and compassionate ruler who brought prosperity and harmony to Arcadia. His story inspired generations to come, reminding them that even the humblest of beginnings can lead to greatness when guided by love and the desire to overcome adversity. I chose this story to share with the graduating class because although we don't have a magic crown to hand to anyone today, I hope that your time here at Oxford provided you with a similar experience and that you depart today with a sense of determination to make the world a better place. You have certainly made Oxford a better place. Now, I would like to say something specifically about each of the young men there. And normally I come up with specific terms or adjectives. It definitely takes me a long time to do this, especially this year because there are some amazing young men up on the stage. However, unlike previous years, I decided to take a little bit different path on what I was going to talk about with boys. So the inspiration came from essentially two arenas this year. First, from the many fun dinner conversations I've had with a gentleman, asking them if they could pick a superpower or be a comic book character or villain, who would it be and why? The second element is the use of artificial intelligence, which has become a common topic of conversation here in the world of late, certainly on campus. So what I did is I typed in a number of descriptive elements of each senior's personality based on experiences and observations, and this is what artificial intelligence generated for each of you gentlemen. Okay. Joe. Joe, the world decided to give you the title of Professor X. You know who that is, right? Yeah. Okay. For those of you who do not, Charles Xavier, also known as Professor X, is the founder and leader of the X-Men. He possesses powerful telepathic abilities that allow him to read and manipulate minds. Through this power, Professor X can delve into the thoughts, memories, and emotions of others. He can communicate telepathically, as Joe is doing now, influencing and controlling the minds of both individuals and large groups. With his immense mental powers, he can project illusions, erase memories, and even paralyze his opponents. However, it is worth noting that Professor X typically uses his mind control abilities responsibly and ethically. He believes in promoting peace, understanding, and equality among mutants and humans. He often employs his powers to bridge gaps between conflicting parties, mediate conflicts, and protect the innocent. Now, I'm pretty sure that Professor X doesn't walk around with earbuds all the time, nor wear a Nirvana t-shirt with pajamas for days on end. But I do think it was his care for others that generated the connection that AI picked up on. Like Professor X, we have all seen Joe be a beneficial presence during his time in our community, and it has been a pleasure to see him grow into the mature young man before us. Joe, we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, which apparently may or may not be taking over the world. Congratulations. Okay, Sid. For Sid, the generated hero is Gambit. I'm not sure Sid knows who Gambit is, but maybe Joe does, which is why he's looking confused. But Gambit, also known as Remy LeBeau, is a Marvel Comics superhero with a unique set of powers. Here are his primary superhuman abilities. Kinetic energy manipulation. For those of you who really want to know what that is, I'm going to share it with you right now. No? Not interested? Gambit has the power to manipulate and charge objects with kinetic energy. By touching an object, he can imbue it with explosive energy. The charged object becomes highly volatile and releases a powerful explosion upon impact or at Gambit's command. He is also an expert in throwing various articles. He has enhanced agility and reflexes, but mostly he is also known for his hypnotic charm. Gambit has a natural charm and a charisma that can influence others. He possesses a hypnotic charm that can make people more susceptible to his suggestions, although the extent of this power varies in different interpretations of the character. It is worth noting that Gambit's powers are not without limitations. He requires a short time to charge an object, and overuse of his powers can lead to physical and mental fatigue. However, when used strategically and in combination with his other skills, Gambit's powers make him a formidable and unpredictable superhero. I think it was Gambit's charm that solidified this one for AI. As anyone who has spoken with Sid can attest, he is very knowledgeable, easy to talk to, and is very much open to sharing his experiences with others. Sid, we have enjoyed thoroughly having you here with us this year and wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Thank you and congratulations. Brett. I for sure thought Superman here. The hair, but Superman is currently taken by Mr. McGrath. So apologies. Colossus is the superhero. Do you know what that is? All right, I hope you guys look these up afterwards, and maybe this will make more sense. Colossus, also known as Peter Rasputin, is a Marvel Comics superhero with superhuman abilities that center around his transformation into organic steel. Not terrible. Here are Colossus's primary superpowers: organic steel transformation, superhuman strength, enhanced durability, increased stamina, skilled combat, organic steel form control, where he can change his skin into organic steel between normal and steel forms at will, allowing him to adapt to different situations and balance between his human and superhuman abilities. Colossus's powers make him a powerhouse within the Marvel Universe. He serves as a stalwart member of the X-Men, using his strength, durability, and combat skills to protect others and fight for peace and equality. So like Colossus, Brett initially comes across as an imposing figure, but inside he is caring, compassionate, imaginative, and also a very talented young artist. Brett, it has been a wonderful experience seeing you open yourself up to new possibilities this year, and I have no doubt that you will find success early and often in your life after Oxford Academy. Thank you and congratulations. Abe, this one was easy. Iron Fist. Iron Fist, also known as Danny Rand, is a Marvel Comics superhero who possesses the power of the Iron Fist. Here are some details about Iron Fist's powers. Chi manipulation. Iron Fist has the ability to harness and manipulate his inner spiritual energy, known as Chi. Through focused concentration and training, he can channel his Chi into his fists, granting them enhanced strength, durability, and also the ability to strike with incredible force. He also has enhanced physical attributes, healing abilities, enhanced perception, and mastery of the martial arts. Iron Fist powers and abilities make him a skilled and powerful superhero. He uses his mastery of Chi and martial arts to protect the innocent, fight against evil, and uphold justice in the Marvel Universe. Okay, right? Good. Now, this selection, to those of us that know Abe, seems pretty obvious given his passion for boxing, and I'm guessing that's why Iron Fist was selected. But I also want to point out that much of this character's powers stem from inner spiritual energy and focus and confidence in oneself. Abe, I hope you never lose that belief in yourself that anything is possible. And as I said, whenever you make it to that championship fight, I'll be ringside, cheering you on. Thank you for pushing yourself and for staying in the fight. Congratulations. Halfway through. All right, Nick. I love that they have no idea what I'm going to say. Nick, artificial intelligence felt that you were very similar to Mr. Fantastic. Do you know who that character is? Yeah. Okay, good. For those of you who do not, Mr. Fantastic, also known as Reed Richards, is a Marvel Comics superhero and founding member of the Fantastic Four. His powers are centered around his ability to stretch his body to incredible lengths and contort it into various shapes. Here are some of his abilities: elasticity, shape-shifting, enhanced durability, superhuman intellect. I think you got that one. Stretchable brain, which I think one of my favorite aspects of Nick is his diversity. And that was, I think, what tied all of this from Mr. Fantastic into Nick. His stretching powers, not you, Mr. Fantastic, make him a valuable member of the Fantastic Four, as he can manipulate his body in ways that others cannot. He can use his elasticity to reach inaccessible places, restrain opponents, and provide support to his teammates. Additionally, his superhuman intellect allows him to analyze situations and come up with scientific solutions to various problems. Now, I don't know exactly why AI chose this, because I kept typing in messy room, and interesting sense of fashion. But I think it was all those other endearing qualities that Nick possesses that led to this, and I certainly want to commend him for many things, but certainly for his flexibility in navigating some challenging circumstances. But more importantly, I want to point out just how durable he has proven to be, and that he can accomplish anything at all, once he sets his mind to it. Thank you, and congratulations. Alec. Do you have a guess? No? Okay. Captain America. Why is everyone laughing? Captain America, also known as Steve Rogers, is a Marvel superhero who possesses several remarkable abilities and powers. Here are some of his notable attributes: superhuman strength, enhanced agility and reflexes. I'm looking at Mr. Lindquist, your soccer coach. Peak physical conditioning. It was at this point in thinking about Alec's athletic abilities that I realized artificial intelligence is not perfect and still has a long way to go. But the final ability is certainly what resonated with me when thinking about Alec, and that is leadership. Captain America is primarily known for his exceptional leadership skills. He has a strong sense of honor, integrity, and tactical intelligence. He effectively leads and inspires his team, the Avengers, in battles against formidable foes. Alec is certainly a leader, and if there was no other term I could use, that description would suffice. Alec, I want to thank you for your incredible influence on our entire community and for being such a positive role model for so many years. It has been a pleasure to watch you grow into the leader you have become, and we all know you are destined for great things. Congratulations and thank you. Luke, you ready?
As ready as I ever am.
Well, that's not ready. This one was perfect. Of all the ones, artificial intelligence, nailed this one. Beast Boy. Beast Boy, a character from DC Comics, is a superhero who has the ability to change into different animals. right? His real name is Garfield Logan, and he is a member of the Teen Titans. Here are some key details about Beast Boy's powers. Shape-shifting. Beast Boy has the power of shape-shifting, which allows him to transform his entire body into any animal he can imagine. This includes both real and mythical creatures, such as bears, elephants, snakes, birds, and even dinosaurs. Animal instincts and abilities. Limited human transformation, color-changing skin. Beast Boy's shape-shifting powers not only provide him with versatility in combat situations, but also allow for creative problem-solving and exploration. His ability to transform into different animals enables him to adapt to various situations and contribute to the Teen Titans' missions and adventures in a unique way. Now, anyone who knows Luke is pretty confident in saying that Luke would rather spend his time in some kind of bear form. And to his credit, his hibernation skills are already well documented. So as far as I can tell, he is already well on his way. In all seriousness, Luke, we will miss all your drawings, your uncanny ability to hurt yourself with minor injuries on a daily basis. Where Wendy is, she can attest to that. But most importantly, we will miss your unique ability to put a smile on all of our faces. Congratulations and thank you. All right, we're going to finish up with Ethan. For Ethan, artificial intelligence chose the Flash. Okay, makes sense. The Flash, also known as Barry Allen, is a DC Comics superhero known for his incredible speed and superhuman abilities. Here are some key details about the Flash's powers. Superhuman speed. The Flash possesses the ability to move and react at extraordinary speeds. He can run faster than the speed of sound and even travel through time. This power allows him to accomplish tasks in the blink of an eye, outrun opponents, and perform incredible feats of agility. He has accelerated healing, time manipulation, enhanced senses, and perception. The Flash's speed extends to his senses, allowing him to perceive the world in slow motion. This heightened perception enables him to react quickly to his surroundings and process information quickly. The Flash's powers make him one of the fastest superheroes in the DC universe. He uses his speed and abilities to protect Central City, fight crime, and be a member of the Justice League. The Flash is a symbol of hope, justice, and the limitless potential of speed. Now, anyone who has watched Ethan can attest to his incredible athleticism, certainly his speed. But I had to laugh when it listed durability, given just how many ankle injuries you had during your years on the soccer field. But I also want to point out that there is so much more to Ethan than his athletic abilities, which is why his classmates chose him to represent their class this year. I want to encourage him to not go too fast, take his time, and enjoy the moment. Ethan, thank you for being such a kind member of our community. We will miss you so much next year. Congratulations. Okay, so that was fun. Thanks, guys. That's about 6 months worth of work in about 3 minutes. So I want to leave you with one final thought, one quick story. It's about Henry Ford. For hopefully everyone knows, was a famous American industrialist and business magnate. He was also the founder of the Ford Motor Company and chief developer of the assembly line technique. One day, Henry Ford took two candidates to dinner. The candidates were friends and happened to both be graduates of the same university. They were both geniuses. When they finished dinner, they walked out of the restaurant, and as soon as they walked out, Ford said to one, "You are hired." He then turned to the other one and said, "Thank you. We will not be proceeding together. Thank you very much for the lovely dinner." And to his credit, the young man summoned his courage and said, "Mr. Ford, may I ask you something? We never spoke about engineering. We never spoke about cars. We never spoke about the university. We only spoke about general things. Why are you hiring my friend and not myself? Mr. Ford said, I'm hiring your friend for 2 reasons. The first one is that your friend tried his steak and then he put salt on it. You put salt on it and then tried your steak. I like people who try things before they make changes. And the second and most important reason of them all, your friend was polite towards all the waiters and said thank you and please. They were invisible to you, and you were only polite when addressing me. A great leader, somebody that you want positively to impact your organization in a positive way, doesn't have to see hierarchy. He must see human beings. To the seniors, I already see some incredible human beings ready to shape their future and the world around them. So taste the steak first and always start with kindness. I wish for each of you that your dreams be boundless, your journey be extraordinary, and your impact be profound. Congratulations, class of 2023.
Greetings. It is the privilege of the faculty each year to honor selected graduates for athletics, academics, and personal achievements. I would like to begin by calling up faculty. I will start with Mr. Michael Lindquist, Oxford Academy's athletic director.
Good morning. The Senior Athletic Award is presented to a graduating senior who participated in 2 of the 3 varsity sports. This year's athletic award was actually a challenge to give out. We had several high-quality candidates who impacted our sports teams on different levels. We had leaders, the athletic achievements, and overall contributions to our championship teams. Our winner this year's naturally gifted athlete was like having another coach out on the field. While his most natural sport is not a varsity option here, he participated in all 3 sports, earning Coastal Prep League team placements for both basketball and soccer. He was a welcome bonus to our sports teams this past year, and he will be missed moving forward. The 2023 Senior Athletic Award recipient is Brett Danowitz. Brett. Just hold it.
Thank you, Mr. Lindquist. Congratulations, Brett. The next series of awards are for achievements in the academic disciplines. To present the English Award, Mr. Justin Ladano.
This next award recipient has everything you could ever want in a student, other than being a Los Angeles Lakers fan. I taught him in his first term at Oxford, and together we read a graphic novel series by Neil Gaiman titled The Sandman. The protagonist of the story was an unconventional superhero, charged with keeping the dreams of others safe from harm. Much like our main character, this award recipient has exemplified his own types of superpowers at Oxford. I wish I knew that the first speech was going to be all about superpowers before I wrote this.
Why go first?
We should talk next year. Superpower number 1 for this award recipient is his positivity. This student constantly is trying to uplift others and bring a positive attitude to any situation. His second superpower is his fearlessness. I'm proud of this student for not being afraid to be wrong in today's only present perfection age. It is nice to see a student who is not afraid of failure and who stands up for what he believes in, even if he believes in the supposed greatness of Russell Westbrook. Superpower number 3, half-field soccer shots. During our undefeated soccer season this year, this student was able to shoot the ball from anywhere on the field. I'm going to miss his confidence that helped our Oxford soccer team take home the championship and produce an undefeated season. I am proud as how he has evolved as a writer and how he has used his superpowers to help the Oxford community become a better place. And in the words of LeBron James, he will be taking his talents to South Beach and will be attending Lynn University this fall. I am proud to present the award for excellence in English to Mr. Alec Enshunika.
Thank you, Mr. Lodano. Congratulations, Alec. To announce the math award, Mr. Christopher McGrath.
I'm not talking about superpowers. Sorry. Any student can listen while the teacher provides instruction, copy notes from the board, memorize procedures for solving problems, and can sit quietly through an entire lesson. But what makes a student truly proficient in math? Well, the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics says that a proficient math student must explain themselves the meaning of a problem and look for entry points to its solution, make sense of quantities and their relationships in problem situations, use assumptions, definitions, and previously established results to construct arguments, apply the mathematics they know to solve problems arising in everyday life, consider all available tools when solving a problem, communicate precisely with others, look closely to discern a pattern, and must notice if calculations are repeated and look for general methods and shortcuts. According to his teachers, Alec has all those aforementioned qualities. Congrats, Alec.
Thank you, Mr. McGrath. Congratulations, Alec. The Art Award will be presented by Nicole Stark.
Good morning. This year's Art Award is for artistic creativity and dedication and goes to a student who, when I started here, all the teachers told me spends all his time drawing. In fact, they had a hard time getting to do anything but drawing. I found this to be true. In my 2 years teaching Luke Rosenblatt, I've seen him fill more sketchbooks than I have in the last decade of my artistic career. The pages of his sketchbooks are filled with dinosaurs, animals, the occasional hunter character that bears a striking resemblance to our own Mr. Forrest, and my personal favorite, hybrid animals. These are mashups of two animals that are completely unrelated, like a pig and a shark or a cat and a snake. Some were cute and some were terrifying, but a perfect example of Luke's imagination and creativity. In addition to his drawing skills, Luke is a master at working in 3D as well. His materials of choice are cardboard and tape, and I'm convinced he could construct just about anything out of those. Whether he was drawing in his sketchbook or constructing 3D bear heads, it's been a pleasure and an honor to have Luke as a student. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. Please never stop creating and stay in touch.
Thank you, Ms. Stark. Thank you. Welcome. Well done, Luke. To present the History Award, Mr. Greg Swytag.
Use that fearful double check just to make sure I got the right person. All right. The Social Studies Achievement Award is presented to the graduate who illustrates a high level of understanding of social studies in and out of the classroom and a genuine interest in learning new cultures while sharing their own with others. I cannot count how many discussions I had with this student about his hometown, birthdays, New Year's Eve celebrations, and his family. As I've always believed, speaking to people and sharing cultures is a way, oh, there he goes again. With life as many people as you can to be as one of the most enriching things human beings can do. And this guy has it nailed down to a T. His teacher this year describes him as an incredibly passionate student who wishes to share and learn new customs and traditions. A student who is naturally curious and a pleasure to teach. These are all admirable qualities that will serve him best in his future, career, and adult life. The 2023 Social Studies Achievement Award goes to Mr. Ethan Ruda.
Thank you, Mr. Swytag. Well done, Ethan. To present the Science Department Award, Ms. Ross Pelletier.
Good morning. It is my great pleasure to give this award to a student who exemplifies engagement in science. He has used his love of art to represent his love of animals. He worked tirelessly in the Sugar Shack, in our campus experiment. He maintained the new hydroponic system in the greenhouse. In fact, the last 4 years for this student, he has consistently improved his understanding in content in biology and environmental sciences. From classification and taxonomy of plants and animals to ornithology and environmental conservation. And I was one of the teachers who first taught him when he came here. So it is with great joy that I give this year's Science Department Award to Luke Rosenblatt.
Thank you, Ms. Pelletier. Well done, Luke. Ms. Martha Neal will announce the Foreign Language Department Award.
Good morning, and welcome to those of you that have come from far around the world, the other side of the world, and those of you that have come from just next door. I have the honor of presenting the 2023 Foreign Language Department Award. In the words of his Spanish teacher, Ms. Brockler, learning a language is a challenging endeavor that requires motivation, memorization, patience, and persistence. Before age 10 is the best time to learn a new language because our brains start to shift and become less flexible as we absorb complex grammatical rules in our teenage years. For a high school student, starting a new language isn't an easy sell. Will they know enough to use the language in conversation after a year of study? Will it be too overwhelming for them at this time? Does the teacher only speak the new language? These uncertainties are discouraging, and it takes someone with ambition and curiosity to wholeheartedly jump into this kind of learning. The winner of this year's award is a young man who is outgoing, intelligent, and intellectually inquisitive. He went above and beyond to learn how to communicate verbally by requesting certain areas of study, practicing vocabulary on his own time, and speaking the language in the hallways and throughout the campus. He even asked to learn slang so he could communicate like a native speaker. This student started the language in September, and by March, he was carrying on full conversations and had exceeded the already high standards set for him. As a polyglot, this young man has a greater potential to become an international liaison, a diplomat, a politician, a president, or even a prime minister. His world has been broadened by his educational choices to study languages. He deserves to feel proud of his dedication and progress to share in a global communication that can only serve to open this world. While he was here at Oxford, we are grateful that he was a student leader and a role model. Now, before going any further, we say congratulations to Alec.
Thank you, Ms. Brockler. Ms. Neal. Congratulations, Alec. Sorry. So as the faculty as a whole, we meet towards the end of the school year to choose students deserving of special recognition. The names of these students are inscribed on plaques that hang in Knight Hall. The first award is for International Understanding, which will be presented by Mr. Jeff Cartier.
Morning. So this guy earned this award throughout his time here, but I can think of two moments that really highlight it. The first was we were blessed to have the daughter of a Holocaust speaker come to the school and speak to us. And in class afterwards, talking to him, it was clear that he had internalized her message of learning about our past, even those most difficult stories from our past, and continuing to speak on them to the future. He thought of his homeland and how he needed to talk to his family members and friends to make sure that these stories are carried on. The second one happened more recently. We were lucky to go out to a dinner with him. Mr. McGrath, myself, my family were there, and he had the whole table smiling with stories of citrus fruits. Mangoes are very popular in the Cartier household, so my kids were just amazed that there's all these fruits hanging from trees, and he could walk home from school, and if the branch was hanging over the sidewalk, it was fair game. But if you had to cross the property line, that could be a problem. And there was just such a big smile on his face and so much joy in his stories, and it carried over to everyone at the table. As my kids were smiling, my wife was smiling, even Mr. McGrath was smiling. So it brings me great pleasure to announce that this year's winner of the International Understanding Award goes to Ethan Ruta.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cartier. Good job, Ethan. The next awards are also voted on by faculty. They recognize students for two things: academic progress and achievement. For the first award, academic progress, I'll pull a quote from one of his teachers. I'll pull it directly out of context. I have seen his style evolve over time. So I used to work at the Museum of Natural History in New York City, and there I was surrounded by people that I'll affectionately call museum nerds and dinosaur nerds. Being an inquisitive person, I picked up on all I could about the now extinct relative of modern birds. And just this year, this young man said to me, after dropping a little dinosaur fact that I didn't really know or have a response to, and he could see that he kind of stunned me, he said, "I like how you're into dinosaurs as much as I am, Mr. Maragliano." And what he does or does not know is that even those museum nerds I used to work with, Mark Norell or Neil deGrasse Tyson, his knowledge rivals theirs in this category. He's grown and achieved here at Oxford Academy. I encourage him to never lose his curiosity or that unique voice. In these 4 years, he has made, indeed, a lot of significant progress. And I'm proud to give Luke Rosenblatt the Most Significant Academic Progress Award.
Take it with you. Yeah.
Sure, why not? Sure, why not? The next award is for Superior Academic Achievement. Today we are celebrating a student who has earned honors for the majority, if not all, of the 15 terms at Oxford Academy. A comment from one of his teachers sums up why. Alex showed the kind of work ethic and engaged participation that has made him a true delight to work with all year. Much more could be said on his accomplishments and on his behalf. The past years have been great, but suffice it to say that I am proud to recognize Alec Nganji Nshigika for superior academic achievement. Now, thank you. Now Mr. Cochiola will present the Headmaster's Award.
Thank you. Holy cow. What happened? It gives me great pleasure to hand out this year's Headmaster Award. This year, I want to say it was very difficult and quite a challenge to select only one. We have some incredible young men up on the stage. I want to thank them all, but there's certainly one that rose above the rest, and I want to congratulate him. When this young man first arrived at Oxford back in September of 2021, he instantly struck me as a young man filled with enthusiasm and potential. Although in those days he was still pretty quiet and even, dare I say, shy. It certainly didn't take him long to begin exhibiting all the qualities of a young man worthy of this award. And he certainly exudes all of our core values: kindness, integrity, sense of community, respect, and civility. He is a trusted dorm representative. He's an active athlete, an honor student, but more importantly, one of the most dependable young men in the school. There isn't enough praise or enough thanks that I can give him for what he has meant to our school community. It's truly an honor, my honor, to give this year's Headmaster Award to Alec. Okay. All right. It's with great pride that I introduce this year's alumni speaker. Sam Cutler graduated from Oxford in 2003 and moved to Denver, Colorado, where he attended a trade school in Denver to obtain his aviation mechanics license. After obtaining this license, he took a job in Nome, Alaska, where he worked on aircraft. After deciding Alaska was not for him, he returned to Denver, where he met his wife, Denise, and they now have two beautiful children, Bella and Brady. Sam also spent some time working as a mechanic, started a bookkeeping business, which would then transition into a company that partnered with real estate properties, flipping properties, and soon thereafter managing 41 properties in the Denver metro area for a few years. Sam then decided he wanted to go back to aviation, and he started flight training to become an airline pilot. After 6 months, he had all the required licenses to fly commercially, and he decided to apply to Great Lakes Airlines on a whim. He was hired at 370 flight hours, one of the lowest time pilots have ever been hired for. He worked at Great Lakes for 2.5 years, becoming an instructor for the airline, and eventually was awarded as a program manager for the Beechcraft 1900 program as a first officer. This was a management pilot position tasked with overseeing all the pilot training, instructor training, and the entire aircraft training program. It was his responsibility to be the subject matter expert on the Beechcraft 1900 and work directly with the Federal Aviation Administration. After Great Lakes Airlines closed its doors in 2018, he went to SkyWest Airlines in Denver, where he flew his first jet, 21 CRJ, as a first officer. Through his career so far, he has flown into 6 of the top 10 most dangerous airports in the U.S. commercially, which included being certified to enter the #1 most dangerous airport, Aspen, Colorado. After entering his airline career, he decided to go back to school and obtain his bachelor's in aviation science, which he has completed. I'm still waiting for the day that I get on a JetBlue flight and they announce that Sam Cutler will be my pilot. With a little bit of hesitancy and nerves, considering he was a former student of mine. And I will convince the flight attendants to give me the microphone so I can say a few words so that everyone knows on the flight exactly what kind of young man he was while here at Oxford Academy. Please give a warm Oxford welcome representing the class of 2003, and an awesome young man, a former student, and amazing alum, Sam Cutler.
All right, thank you, Headmaster Coach Yola, for the introduction, for your unwavering dedication to Oxford and its students, and the invitation and honor of speaking at this year's graduation. Thank you to the faculty for your countless hours of dedication to the students in school. To the parents for your support of your sons and this school that have led to this day. To the alumni for your continued support. And finally, but most importantly, to the graduating class of 2023. It is your hard work, determination, and achievements that we celebrate here today. I must admit, when Mr. Coach Yola invited me to deliver this speech, I was both amused and surprised. I still remember sitting in his history class all those years ago, struggling to pay attention. This would drive him crazy. As you can imagine, I spent a lot of time in detention as a result of this behavior. Fast forward, here we are today. I'm standing up at this podium giving a speech as a notable alumnus, tasked with delivering an inspiring message while keeping it short enough to not be boring. So fingers crossed, here we go. My time at Oxford was brief. I arrived in 2002 for my senior year. What I remember most from my time at Oxford was the diversity of the student body, meeting fellow classmates from all over the world, which at the time included a prince of Saudi Arabia and the son of a fashion tycoon. And who could forget the paintball team? What a rush that was. Setting up our own practice field and going on weekend excursions to battle at other venues. Or the fact that we had no limit on pressure regulation. The best part about the paintball team was the ability to reduce detention time by 30 minutes if you felt like running the gauntlet. Yeah, this entailed running back and forth in the open while 4 to 5 teammates unload an entire hopper of paintballs. As you have probably realized by now, I use that option frequently. I also remember my car accident during Thanksgiving break. The accident that would forever alter the trajectory of my life. But with the support of the school, it didn't stop me. Despite this setback, Oxford gave me the tools to succeed in all aspects of life, the confidence to persevere and not be afraid to take risks, follow my dreams, or step outside of my comfort zone. As Henry Ford once said, the only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. Well, I can assure you, I've done a lot of learning since 2003. After leaving Oxford, I moved to Colorado to attend college, but decided conventional college was not for me, at least not yet. From a very early age, I knew I wanted to be a pilot. And when I was young, I flew remote control airplanes with friends and would always look up in the sky to see what was flying over. Unfortunately, becoming a pilot was not initially available to me, so I joined an aviation mechanic school, as Mr. Coach Yola mentioned. I worked all through training on small aircraft, gaining experience. After receiving my licenses, I took a job in Nome, Alaska, but quickly learned that was a mistake. So I went back to Colorado for a friend's wedding, where I met the love of my life, Denise. We have 2 wonderful children, my 13-year-old daughter, Bella, and my 11-year-old son, Brady. In the beginning years of our marriage, I jumped from job to job. I even started a business for Denise that is still around today. Never felt comfortable with any of these decisions, but I kept pressing on. It's a hard one. Excuse me. When my daughter was airlifted to the ICU at 2 years old, I learned 2 things. Sorry. First, I would never be that helpless again. And second, I now have a love for helicopters. So I joined the local fire department, and shortly after I became a certified EMT. Then, with the support of my parents, who are here today, I was finally given the chance to follow my dream of becoming a pilot. My apologies. After obtaining the required licenses to fly commercially within 6 months, which included the ability to fly helicopters, I had my first airline job at just 370 flight hours, something that was almost impossible to achieve at the time. As Mr. Coach Yola pointed out, I leveraged this job into an instructor and management position for the airline and became responsible for running the entire training program for the aircraft that I flew. Unfortunately, it did go out of business, so I transferred to a new airline where I flew my first jet. I spent 2 years there getting certified to fly into the most dangerous airport in the country, Aspen, Colorado. It was interesting. Then my ultimate dream came true. I was hired by JetBlue Airways, and I currently fly there as a first officer, waiting for my turn to upgrade to captain. This only took 4.5 years, something I was told would never happen. Since being hired by JetBlue, I did finish my bachelor's degree in aviation science, as well as started a new tech company. We're tasked with designing an AI platform to aid in reducing airline crew scheduling conflicts that cause flight delays, something I'm sure most of you have dealt with before. There were many mistakes, failures, and roadblocks along my path to my dream job. Many situations have brought me outside of my comfort zone. It is with this statement that I wish to impart some words of inspiration to the graduating class. Because let's be honest, you're probably still wondering, who is this guy, and why is he telling me about his life since Oxford? Well, class of 2023, the message is simple. Never give up and never stop learning. I stand before you, living proof that if you work hard, you never stop learning, and never give up, you can eventually achieve your goals. Despite the many roadblocks, mistakes, and epic failures, I continued to learn and never quit. I did this using the tools I gained from my time here at Oxford. Now I'm standing up here hoping to inspire you to achieve your goals. As Conrad Hilton once said, success seems to be connected with action. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. How each of you gauges success in life will most likely differ from the person next to you. Whatever success means to you, go and achieve it. Today marks the completion of the first big stage of your life. As you prepare to embark on the next stage, make mistakes, experience failures, and believe me, there will be failures. Don't get discouraged. It is a necessary part of life. Take the lessons you learn and use them to your advantage. Use these lessons as a stepping stone to your eventual success. Then apply what you have learned and take the leap to that next stone on your path. Eloise Ristad once said, when we give ourselves permission to fail, we, at the same time, give ourselves permission to excel. The only way a person learns is through mistakes. Those that never experience failure never truly learn what it means to succeed. So take the risks, set your goals, and go out and achieve your success. Years from now, when you look back at your failures and your successes, you should be able to say that you gave it everything you had. You never stopped learning, you took risks, made mistakes, but you didn't quit. Well, that road to success starts now. Congratulations, class of 2023, and thank you for allowing me to take part in your special day, and I wish you all the best on your journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you had told me in 2003 that Sam Cutler and I would be talking about him landing a helicopter on the Oxford soccer field leading up to graduation, I would have been in Mike Soucy's office getting drug tested. But none of us are a finished product. And I want to thank him for sharing his story, one of my favorite students, and it's wonderful to see him back on campus. Every year, the senior class selects someone from the senior class to represent them and speak on their behalf. This year, the senior class elected Ethan to come up and represent. Ready? All right, a warm welcome to Ethan Ruda. Make sure that's good for you.
Thank you. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty members, proud parents, and my fellow graduates. 4 weeks ago, I was nominated to become this year's student speaker, representing my fellow classmates here on stage. I was so nervous, I considered refusing the offer in my head until I remembered that my mother was coming to the graduation. This simple fact changed everything for me. The thought of my mother in the audience made me want to go up on the stage and speak to you all because I wanted to make her proud. Just as my mother helped give me courage to speak, I'm hoping my words help each and every one of you guys in some way. Today marks the ending of one chapter and the beginning of another. As we gather here at Oxford Academy today to celebrate our high school graduation, it is a moment filled with joy, reflection, and immense gratitude for the experiences that have shaped us into the individuals we are today. As we embark on our new journeys, I would like to take a moment to emphasize the importance of kindness in our lives and the powerful impact it can have on our collective futures. Kindness is often underestimated and overshadowed by achievements and the pursuit of personal success. However, I stand before you today to remind each and every one of us that kindness holds an extraordinary power within us. Once we are filled with kindness, our cups overflow and we fill other people's cups. One of my most memorable experiences at Oxford was during the football season. Last year's football season. Or as you guys call it, soccer. This season was coming to an end in Coastal Prep Finals, and I severely sprained my ankle. I had to get off the pitch. This contributed to us losing the game and the title. Through all of this, none of my teammates blamed me for the loss, even though I knew my absence was a huge factor. Their kindness helped me move on from our sorry defeats and want to play football again, the sports that I love the best. Simply stated, they acted like my family. It was reassuring for me that nobody alienated me or blamed it all on me, because it would have hurt a lot. Tommy, who's not here today, and Nick Garrett, you guys carried me off the pitch that day. I want to thank you. And everyone made me feel supported throughout this whole journey when I was. In our time here at Oxford Academy, we have been privileged to witness the experience of transformative power of kindness firsthand. We have seen acts of compassion, empathy, and companionship that have lifted the spirits of those around us. Kindness has a unique ability to unite people, fostering an inclusive and supportive environment where everyone feels valued and appreciated. For example, Joe Amari. Remember when we went to Boston and my phone had died and you helped me out? They lent me your phone. Or Abe, when my headphones were having problems and you decided to just give me yours out of selflessness. And Alec, we came here to this country together. We came here, learned here as partners, and throughout all this, we've stuck close together. I thank you for being my friend. As we're leaving the safe confines of our beloved academy and venturing into the wider world, let us take the lesson of kindness with us. Let us be catalysts for change. Like when Brett, you wanted to go swimming on a cold day, but nobody wanted to come with you, so you decided to make a polar plunge, which was successful. Like Sid, who, when I said I wanted more spicier food at school, he decided to go buy some chili sauce just to bring for us to eat. And ambassadors of empathy, like our own bear tamer, Luke Rosenblatt. Or should I say Beast Boy? My bad. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, has a ripple effect and can touch countless lives. Most importantly, I would like to thank the school administration to have given me the opportunity to be part of the Oxford Academy community through the scholarship program. I assure you that my progress will keep making you proud. Thank you. And in the end, I would like to announce to you all, we did it. We are graduating. Thank you.
Times like these, I'm happy I went first. Ethan, thank you. That was beautiful. Mr. Lindquist.
Thank you, Mr. Cochiola. Fellow faculty, alumni, families, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2023. To the gentleman behind me, I am honored to have been selected as your faculty representative to speak at your graduation. I've been bestowed with this honor before, back for the class of 2016, and I thought maybe I could save myself a few hours, repeat the same speech. It was a solid speech. We can all go on our merry way. However, that wouldn't be fair to our wonderful faculty who were probably so moved by my original speech they remember so much of it. After I wrote a good first draft, I was a bit stuck in the writing process, and it seems to be a theme this year. I tried to see if my speech was at the same level of ChatGPT, AI. And I asked it to create a speech. It was cheesy, full of bad jokes, which I typically like, and typical advice. Some of that advice was, remember Google is your friend and procrastination is an art. How can that be sound advice when that is the main things that got you on the stage in the first place? I don't know. Needless to say, it was of no help to me, and I felt this class deserved more than a random computer program copying copious amounts of data to produce a funny commencement speech given by a faculty member. In addition, my words of wisdom needed to match the uniqueness of this class, a one-of-a-kind speech. Our school markets itself as, like you, one of a kind. Yes, there is a considerable number of unique personalities, temperaments, and individuals behind me. The flowing hair of Nick Garrett, the random comments from Abe, and take Alec. There won't be another Alec and Gainka walking through these doors. Like, I'm not allowing anyone with that last name. It took me 14 months to feel comfortable spelling it, let alone trying to say it in front of everybody. But there's one Alec, one Joe, one Sid, unless your name is Ethan. We had 4 Ethans this year at Oxford. But it's not the name that defines you. It's not the name that defines Oxford Academy. Why Oxford? Does it roll off the tongue? Does it have connections with the University of England? Oxford, or this school, is unique from that school, or separate from the Oxford Academy in Anaheim, California, because we separate ourselves with our individual education, our desire to ensure your success. A name does not define who you are. And while it's part of your identity, your actions, your abilities, the way you live through life's lessons, as Sam mentioned, makes you who you are. We're given a lot of lessons. For some of you, 4 years, others just this past academic year. These lessons include science and English and math, and lessons on the globalization and importance of corn as a major globalized crop. Joe, Ethan, you remember those 2 days we spent on that? How boring it was? But it wasn't boring, right? There are hidden lessons within the lesson. The idea of showing passion towards something. And if I remember correctly, you were both engaged, asking questions, and contributing to our individual conversations, generally amazed by the facts and figures of corn. But it wasn't just about corn. It was about the engagement, the natural spirit of humanity, our thirst for knowledge. And if you think back to your classes with your teachers, Nick Garrett in Spanish, with Miss B, or Brett with your classes with Mr. Switek, more than likely, the classes that you remember will include laughter, because I heard that laughter. Or thinking back to the best memories, winning sports championships, achieving your own success, meeting your goals. Typically, you learned something. You learned how to win, or you learned how to properly boil maple sap. It was fun and engaging, hopefully. Albert Einstein has been quoted saying, "Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one learns in school." Our goal in our classrooms isn't just to learn stuff. Ethan, how much corn did we make in the United States in 2022? Exactly. It doesn't matter. But the point is that the corn was used a lot. We all forget stuff, and you guys have forgotten something. As you sit up here today, after we dragged you through the academic muck and mire, not because you forgot your notebook or forgot your assignment on your desk, but because of your general thirst for knowledge in some capacity. We've tried to direct that knowledge. And that's the gambit. That's what school is. It's the vessel you're on right now for wanting to learn, wanting to understand. You remember when you were young, if you have young people, they always question things. Why? Why this? Why that? We want to learn as humans. Humans are naturally curious. Satisfaction is one's curiosity, one of the greatest sources of happiness in life. Lest you're the Rolling Stones. Satisfaction. To quote, "When I'm driving in my car, when a man come on the radio, he's telling me more and more about some useless information supposed to fire my imagination." Maybe if Keith Richards and Mick Jagger came to Oxford, we could have fired that imagination for them. When you look back at your time and your time here at Oxford, and you will, there will be fond memories, positive discussions with your teachers, and those who helped get the absolute best out of you. And maybe we didn't light that fire, hopefully we sparked it in a certain direction. And you're lucky for that. You're looking tomorrow out into a hopeless abyss, and if you feel kind of unsure, that's okay too. Many of us don't figure things out right away. But hopefully you'll have someone to help initiate that spark for you in both school and life lessons. There's a list of rules to be human, which have kind of been touched upon today by multiple speakers. And there's been different variations of those rules, mostly coming from a Sanskrit translation from many years ago. It's been modernized, and I saw this list hanging by my mother's computer and thought, hey, this would be some good parting wisdom. Now, since this is the last time I can really give you counsel and you're stuck here until you receive your diplomas, here are the rules of human life. Number one, you will receive a body. I feel like you already know that, and that's okay. You may like it or hate it, but it'll be yours for your entire period. Get used to it. Number two, you will learn lessons. You are enrolled in a full-time informal school called life. Each day this school will have the opportunity to learn lessons. You may like the lesson or find them irrelevant or stupid. Number three, there are no mistakes, only lessons. Growth is a process of trial and error, experimentation. The failed experiments are as much about the process as the experiments that ultimately work. Number four, a lesson is repeated until learned. A lesson will present to you in various forms until you have learned it, and when you have learned it, then you can go on to the next lesson. Number five, learning lessons does not end. Ties right into what Sam was saying. There's no part in life that does not contain lessons. If you are alive, there are lessons to be learned. Number six, there is no better than here. When your there becomes a here, you will simply attain another there that will, again, look better than here. Number seven, others are merely mirrors of you. You cannot love or hate something about another person unless it reflects something you love or hate about yourself. Number eight, what you make of your life is up to you. You have the tools and resources you need. I like to think we've helped with that, but it's up to you what you do with them. There are those who make things happen, those who watch what will happen, and those who wonder what happened. Take charge of your life or someone else will. Number nine, your answers lie inside you. The answers to life's questions lie inside you. All you need to do is look, listen, and trust. Number 10, you will forget all this. However, you can remember it when you want. I like to think we've helped with all of these in some capacity, especially number 10. Talk about forgetting things, unless you forgot that already. At this point in my speech composition, I ran into some what people may call writer's block. I felt stuck. And I couldn't figure out how to transition from these rules to this magical advice you guys are going to remember 5 years down the road. And I struggled. And that's okay. Number 3, there are no mistakes, only lessons. I took a day off, looked back, tried to figure out what I really wanted to say. As I read the rules again, number 9 stood out. The answers lie inside you. All you need to do is look, listen, trust. Trust yourselves. Trust that you can do what you need to do. And I trust myself. I look back at my 2016 speech for some guidance. And one quote that I used from Poet Silverstein stood out to me. It's one of the simplest advice that one can receive. Here's the quote, tell me I'm clever, tell me I'm kind, tell me I'm talented, tell me I'm cute, tell me I'm sensitive, graceful, and wise. Tell me I'm perfect, but tell me the truth. So here's the truth. Life is hard, but you will succeed. We have an example of it up here right now. If you take the lessons presented to you and you commit 110% towards what's in front of you, you will succeed. Your next step will get hard, school will get harder, work will be hard, making friends is hard, making good friends is harder, keeping friends is the hardest. But if you work hard at it, all those things, life will become fun. Because you're living, you're learning. It's part of life. Those are the rules. Did you forget? As you move forward, find something that you love. Do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life. It's kind of cheesy. It's kind of true. Okay? Today is the easiest day of your Oxford career. No notes, no tests, just a few lessons. The main lesson is that you remember not what you've learned here, but how you've learned. How you've grown as a student. How you've learned from failing. Thomas Edison famously said, I have not failed 10,000 times. I have successfully found 10,000 ways that will not work. And I wrote 7 or 8 different variations of these final paragraphs. I just found successful ways that didn't work. Now, one of the more interesting quotes was rule number 6. There is no better than here. Coach has mentioned this 1,000 times before, that Oxford is a wonderful place. You have teachers and mentors who cared and looked out for the best of you. And everything we did knowing that you will move on. You will go to your next big academic adventure with Oxford in the rearview mirror. And trust me, we are just as excited for you to go and take those adventures as you are today. But from an academic standpoint, many of you thrived here for the first time. From a social standpoint, you grew more than you thought. Some need more growth, and that's okay. More lessons. From the athletic fields to labs to classrooms to the dorms. Just remember Oxford for what it's been, a chance to grow. So as you embark on finding your new there, remember what you've accomplished here. Take the lessons that your teachers have given you, your friends have given you. Just don't forget about Oxford. Don't forget about here, because hopefully you can take something from it. For the class of 2023, you will be missed. Thank you for the lessons you have taught me, our faculty, and our school. Thank you.
All right, the time you have all waited for has arrived. We'll be handing out the diplomas. I want to say 2 things to the seniors before you receive this. Gentlemen, you can stand up, that's fine. I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for your hard work and everything that has led up to this point. You deserve, obviously, the success that you are receiving today. And I also want to welcome you to come back anytime. Open invitation. This has been your home and will always be your home. You may not think of it that way at this very moment, but I guarantee you, you will. And you are always welcome back, and we are always here for you as well. I'd like to introduce Mr. Maragliano to begin the proceedings for the diplomas.
Hey, Coach. Gentlemen, the first member of the class of 2023, Joseph DeWitt Amare. From the class of 2023, Sita Daga. Class of 2023, Brett David Danowitz. The class of 2023, Abraham Habib El Harar. From the class of 2023, Nicholas Ryan Garrett. From the class of 2023, Alec Nagini Nshingenka. From the class of 2023, Luke C. Rosenblatt. From the class of 2023, Ethan Gray Gonza Ruda. I would like to welcome you to see the Oxford Academy 2023 graduating class.